if this will work. Can you hear us? Okay. Can you hear us? Hello? 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 Yeah, okay. You can hear us? Yes. Okay. So we have a microphone. I actually just had to go and switch to our webcam mic. So I don't know, the sound might not be as good as it usually is. So I'm not sure why the mic didn't come on, but this will have to work for the rest of the show. And whatever, guys, we're just using the mic that comes through the camera. Anyway,
you would not have wanted my sign language. People are saying sign language.
So I'm going to go back and I'm going to start over with that whole story.
No. She started with a story that you're not going to hear ever. So I'm sorry, and you're welcome.
All right. I'll just make sure. Somebody said the mic's a little bit low, but whatever. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Turn your volume up. Anyway, here we are. It's Sunday live haul. It's been kind of a crazy week. Our front room right now is absolutely destroyed. It looks like we live in like a crazy hoarder house.
We look like a hoarder house.
What have you done to our family, Victoria?
And mind you, we've had not one. Nobody ever comes over the damn house. How many people have we had visit? 3 people have come over since this house has now looked like we are hoarders from hell.
Yeah, but really, I'm not the hoarder. You're the hoarder.
Yes,
is what's happening.
Katie can blame it on me.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, I see Sunny Miami. That's actually Luke wants to know. Oh wait, let me pull it up over here so I can actually like pop people's comments on the screen. Wants to know when I'm going to Torgum. Yeah, so I think I talked last week about getting cleared to go to Torgum, and so I think we're looking at. I'm basically hitching a ride with Jesse from yesterday's fits, and so we're looking at potentially going on the 24th, which is not tomorrow, but the following Monday. So we'll see. We're going to do a quick turn and burn, basically leave Vegas at like 3 in the morning, drive straight there. Jess is going to like rent an SUV, drive straight there, drive straight back after we're done. So that's basically what's going to happen. So I don't know. It should be really fun, but that
should be interesting.
That's the plan. So look, I guess I will be going there potentially before you, and I'll have to tell you how it goes. Because I know he's got an appointment as well. So very cool. Anyway, see, look, people are saying you look marvelous. And
I don't think anyone used that word.
Teresa, yes.
I see cute.
Okay. Teresa said your hair looks cute, Vicki. Melty Madeline said you look marvelous.
Oh, I did see that
Vicki.
one. Okay,
I wasn't lying to you.
I thought you made up a word.
No, this is what she does. Pretty much before every show, she's like, does this look okay? Does my hair look okay like this? And so, yeah, it looks really cute. And then we sit down in front of the camera and she's like, see, this is why I ask if it looks okay. Because then I go in front of the camera and it looks ridiculous.
It looks funny on the camera. It looks fine in person.
Shut your mouth.
Anyway,
you shut your mouth. So, the black shirt behind me says I hate spiders. It's an arachnophobia t-shirt from the movie Arachnophobia, but it's true. I think you probably hate spiders, right? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of spiders.
No.
Torgum is not. It's by invitation only. It's by appointment only. You have to have a business. You have to show that you are a business, show your business credentials, and then make an appointment. And there's a minimum buy that you have to do. So it's not. They don't just let people in to come shop. You have to come in specifically to buy for business.
People want to see your shirt.
My shirt
that you're wearing that I bought you.
This is a shirt that Vicki got me. It's a rad Nightmare on Elm Street mashup shirt, and it's pretty rad. It's pretty rad.
No.
It's pretty rad.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. You can stop now.
It's rad. Anyway, so we did some sourcing this week. You went to some estate sales.
I went to 3 estate sales with Britt on Friday morning. And then, so people want to know, why does our house look like a hoarder's? So I'll tell a story quickly. I did talk about it a little bit on Wednesday. So our friend Sally, that's in the chat there, Sally and Rudy. Rudy. Thank you very much. They live in St. George, and they happened to find an estate sale last weekend where they were able to buy out the estate of clothing. She messaged me. We talked on the phone, and she's like, I don't want this crap. I don't want to list clothing, but I think it could be good for you. They live about 2 hours away from us. So I said, yes, if you can get it cheaply enough, absolutely. And I'll come and meet you, and I'll pay you on top of that to make it worth your while. Cause it, you know, it was a few hours of work for her and her husband. So, she was able to get it all. I can talk about it. I mean, it was $100 for 3 huge closets full of clothing, shoes, and handbags. Actually, only like a handful of handbags, so, which is a lot. And it's all vintage. It's not all good vintage, but it's all vintage. So it was but it was one of those, you have to take it all. So it's hundreds and hundreds of pieces. We met for lunch, about an hour and a half from us, about half hour, 45 minutes from them, and did the trade off. And I paid her some money on top of that, so she made it worth her while, hopefully. And so I've been sorting all day today. We have a 7-passenger SUV, and it's full. So we had to take everything out, and every single thing is clean, pressed, dry cleaned, on hangers, or still is new with tags on hangers. So it's all excellent condition. There's really, I think, 2 items that have stains that I just tossed. So it's a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of work to process it. I will say I'm keeping about 30% of it. I'm going to keep about 30% of it to resell. And then the rest of it I am passing along to another reseller. My friend Crystal, who does my listing, it's a bunch of women's clothing. She has a neighbor that sends clothing back to the Philippines. It's all useful clothing. It's just not high dollar clothing. Not that everything has to be high dollar, but a lot of it is like,
it's not within your sales model, like how you
do it. So here's the thing. What it is a lot of it is like old lady clothing from like the 80s and the 90s. A lot of like Liz Claiborne and Anne Klein and stuff like that. Not worthless, definitely worth lotting up maybe, but on their own, slow sellers, shelf sitters probably would sell for like $10 to $15 an item, around there. So that kind of stuff, I'm giving to Crystal. She's going to come pick it all up, sort through it, keep what she wants, lot some things. She doesn't mind it taking longer to sell. She has a harder time finding inventory because she works from home and has a son that she takes care of out of the house. Anyway, so it works for everybody. So it's, she's going to, get probably 350 pieces of items of clothing to list for free, other than just coming to pick it up. And we're going to trade off a couple of hours of work a week on top of that. It just works out well. So, but I did keep some really good pieces out of it, and then I kept some, fillers out of it too. So yeah, it's good.
So yeah, so you end up with a ton of stuff.
It's a ton, but right now it's like several more hours of work to go to get through it all for sure.
And then you went to a few estate sales, and then I did some online sourcing, and then I also went to yesterday's Fits, and I went to one of the other vintage shops here in town. Luke was saying something about hearing about a t-shirt that went for $6,000 on the virtual flea. So speaking of the virtual flea, I will be going back on the virtual flea this coming Saturday, the 22nd. I don't know. He doesn't put the actual schedule together until the beginning of the week. So sometime in the next couple of days, I'll actually know what time I'm going on. But I am going on the 22nd for my, the last time I was on, I was MVP. So it's my MVP spot. So I'll be doing that on Saturday. So that arachnophobia t-shirt, I'm going to be auctioning on there along with a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, so
so Sally, it was absolutely worth it. I very much appreciate you and Rudy going to the trouble for me. One of the other things, that's something about this community. We talk about this all the time. There's ways for us to help each other out. And that was, of course, my friend helping me out. And in turn, I'm going to try to help Crystal out by giving her a bunch of stuff that she can use. It's the cycle of reselling. It's stuff that I'm not wanting to list, but it's not worthless. It's too good for me to donate it. Somebody can use it, and someone could list it. Somebody had suggested me putting, reseller boxes together, and that's too much work. So Crystal could do that. Yeah, if she wants to,
Exactly.
So it works out. The items that I've kept are all good, and it's more than worth, my time and the money to do it. And, I would have preferred, of course, that it was a home run and I wanted to keep 90% of the stuff and it was all high-end vintage. Who wouldn't want that? But it still worked out to be good.
Yeah, for sure. I see Liz is like, please don't let it be 7 a.m. when I go on the virtual flea. Don't worry, Liz, it won't happen. He puts East Coast sellers up first when he does the schedule. So so for them it's not super early in the morning, although he's
So Tommy in Seattle said, where's the Freddie shirt? She is auctioning that. Crystal, who I was just speaking of, actually fixed a seam on it for her.
I'm not necessarily auctioning it. I'm going to be wearing it while I'm on the show. It had a seam split right here, and so I sent it home with Crystal to fix it because she is a seamstress, and so she's going to go ahead and fix that. And I plan to wear it on the 22nd. Now, if people that are watching offer up enough, I might be willing to auction it off. But currently, it's a personal T-shirt, and we will see. But yes, I will be wearing it because it's flipping awesome.
All right,
flipping awesome. But
Sunny Miami got a contact for me for vintage warehouse for women's clothes down in Florida. Of course, it's got to be in Florida. Of course, it's in Florida. Couldn't possibly be further away. But yeah, definitely send me a message. We'll chat.
Well, I hear that they actually do have some women's vintage at Torgum, so that's one of the things when
you're gonna check for me.
Yeah, that's one of the things. So like I'm gonna go with Jesse, but if I go and I see that there's like a lot of opportunity for Vicki, I mean, there is because she can buy men's stuff too, and there's certainly enough for everybody. But I've heard they actually do have a women's section there of women's vintage, so I don't know what kind that is, like what kind of stuff.
She's going on a recon mission for me.
Going on a recon mission. Indeed. So yeah, so next weekend's going to be crazy. If we end up getting an appointment at Torgum on Monday, that means that Saturday I'll be doing the flea, and then that
we also have a service to go to for a friend's father who passed away that same day.
Yeah, so we have that. I got to do the flea, which means I'll have a ton of shipping to do, which I'll probably have to do on Sunday because if we do Torgum, then I got to go like basically at 3 in the morning on Monday and be gone all day.
Bye-bye.
It's going to be a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's going to be a little bit ridiculous.
But Corey has already volunteered to babysit me on Monday, so we're going to go outsourcing on that Monday.
Oh, that's very exciting. That's very exciting.
So we're going to go we haven't done it in a couple months. We went a few months ago. We had a good time. So
yeah. All right. So yeah, you guys should definitely, if you don't follow me on Instagram at A Boutique for Him, you should, because I also have other stuff that's coming in. I bought like a bunch of t-shirts off a lady on Instagram recently, and some of them are going to be going up in the virtual flea, but you should be following me on Instagram so you can see some of the cool stuff I'm going to be putting up this week of what I will be auctioning on Saturday, and then you can watch it on Saturday and see if it goes all right.
And yes, Tracy, you do watch the virtual flea on Instagram. It would be on Katy's, and it's also going to be on that 80s something, what 80s co 1980 something co.
Yeah.
But yeah, she'll put some links up.
Yeah, I think I have the virtual flea link down below because I wanted to tell you guys, since we're not having a Wednesday show, so there is a virtual flea link down below. Anyway, so Sunday show, Sunday live haul, we break it into 3 parts. First part, we go over our numbers for the last week, the good, bad, and the ugly. This week it's meh.
This week is meh
for us. And then the middle part, we look at some sales highlights for the last week, some of the cool things that we sold over the last week. And then for the last part, we do our haul, stuff we picked up from this last week.
So but I do have some highlights since I've actually sorted through every single thing that I picked up yesterday already. I did pull some of the really nice pieces that I'm excited about to show.
Okay. Let's go ahead and share the screen so we can do numbers here. And here we go. We're going to start with me, which you know what that means. Vicki is back to being on top. So last week, obviously the weeks I'm on the virtual flea, I tend to have much better weeks. But last week, without doing that, my eBay was like crazy, and I had really good numbers. Crazy. And then this last week, it kind of, eBay was okay this last week, but my numbers overall definitely dropped down. So I had 23 items sold on eBay, 11 on Etsy, Grailed, and actually Vicki as well, for a total of 34 sales. eBay, last week I was over 3,000. This week, $1,716.17. I really like to get hit 2,000. It doesn't happen a lot recently, but and then between Etsy, Grailed, and then one little sale on Vicki, I did $791.14. So my total gross sales, $2,507.31, which is good. But with the way things have been going and how my inventory has been changing, that's a little low for me. My shipping, $216.50. My promoted listing fees between eBay and Etsy, $111.39. And you can see the breakdown of the final value fees. My cost of goods, not as crazy as last week, but I didn't sell as much of big pieces. So $485 for my cost of goods. So my total net sales after my costs, $1,417.28. My gross average sale price, ASP, $73.74, which I'm really happy about. I've been kind of pushing that up for a long time. It was like anything over 50, then it was over 60. I'm feeling good about the staying over 70 here now. And then my net average sale price after all my costs, $41.68. So pretty good. Yeah, eBay's definitely, I mean, it's a good number there, but it was mostly from the beginning of the week.
eBay's been quiet, guys.
Did not have any sales yesterday. Yesterday was a 0 sales day for me on eBay. And then today I accepted one offer for an old t-shirt for $20. So I'm a whole $20 today on eBay, 0 for yesterday. So
yeah, it's been a real slow week, slow 2 or 3 weeks for me. To answer Sunny's question real quick, everybody's a little bit different on how they purchase inventory and things like that. As far as I'm concerned, or as far as Katie's concerned, neither one of us like to purchase on credit. We purchase from profits. I
mean, we've both done PayPal capital loans before
in the past
and use them for inventory for sure, but generally we're using money that comes into our PayPal. Like I pretty much buy everything through my PayPal account, so it's money that comes in and I use that. I don't have I will say I don't have like a set budget for what I
buy. Same. But I don't really have a budget, but I definitely sell more than I buy since this is my only income, obviously, and this is how we pay the bills.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, it's just you know, everybody does their accounting and they're purchasing a little bit differently. I know Teresa loves to use certain cards that give cash back and points and manipulate. She's like the queen of making her money work for her. We probably are a little too simple in that regard, where neither one of us really do that. Occasionally we both have points credit cards that we'll use for certain things to access the
we use it for like fees, and now we're using it for shipping because of the big points that Southwest is giving out on the Chase card. But that we pay off like every month, so we don't generally buy our stuff on credit. Mother Deals wanted to know if there's a reason I don't do Depop. Yeah, they only do 4 pictures. And so, which wouldn't necessarily be the end of the world, except with doing cross listing and stuff like that, it's a lot more difficult because my first 4 pictures are not the 4 pictures I would use. Like
not always. Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, I already have too many other ones I'm focusing on anyway. I have 4 platforms I'm selling on, 5 if you include Instagram. So I've got 5 platforms that I have to focus on every single day. That's enough. Yeah,
I mean, I really like the idea of Depop. I intend to start adding Grailed myself, and that'll be my 6th platform. Personally, I would love to do Depop, especially with some of the fun, funky vintage women's clothing I use. It's kind of a look that would work. But again, same thing. 4 photos, that's a bit too much for me. I want to be able to use it for cross-posting, and having to try to manipulate photos, it's never going to really work for me until they add more photos. I will tell you, if they add it to 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever, I'm on.
Yeah,
no question.
I mean, maybe it's just it's a safe space of their servers or something. I don't know. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and look at your numbers. Look what you got.
So this is a pretty typical week for me. It's not a great week, not a horrific week. It felt like it was a lot less than it was. But anyway, so I did 37 orders on eBay, 15 between Etsy, Posh, and Mercari for a total of 52. That's kind of my average. 50 to 60 orders a week is where I end up. 21.25 on eBay for gross sales, 9.25 between Etsy, Posh, and Mercari, which is that's very good. Total gross sales of 3,051. It seems a little bit slow for me because I'm really used to doing these $4,000 and $5,000 weeks. So it's, it really isn't that slow. I'm just being greedy now because I've been doing so well. Yeah. So it's still a very good month, even though it's my lowest month in sales this year is this month.
Yeah.
So far, shipping $292, promoted listing fees on eBay only $22.62, eBay final value fees about $295. Etsy Pasha Makari, right around the $80 to $85 range. Total cost $692.96. My cost of goods is relatively low at $242. My total net sales just over $2,100 for the week. Not bad. I like to be around $2,000, $2,500 net for the week. And my gross ASP, I like to keep over 50, so it's good, right around 58, almost $60 gross ASP, and my net ASP at 40. So not a bad week.
No, not at all. I will say, if I do, Teresa's in the chat saying that you can never have too many platforms. Never. I will say I have the 5 platforms I focus on now. Probably my next step would be, if I were to add something else, is Shopify. Now, Shopify isn't a selling platform in the sense that they don't bring you customers. It's more like you're setting up your own website.
Which is perfect for someone that has a niche or a focus or a brand that they're building.
So at some point, I do like the idea of setting up my own Shopify website and having that be like super curated stuff from my inventory. So rather than having, right now I have Etsy up on my Instagram, and my Etsy store has over 1,500 listings, and it's got lots of like really low level stuff mixed with the high level stuff. I could see potentially having like a Shopify that just has like the few hundred items at a time that are my more high level, really cool vintage streetwear type stuff. So that would probably be my next step.
Yes, you do drive traffic through it's just like any other website. You're going to drive traffic to Shopify through Google ads and Facebook ads and Instagram ads. You're correct. But that's not something that either one of us are interested in.
Right. I would do it
driving traffic that way. It's not.
Right.
That's a whole other different type of business, which for me, Shopify is probably not going to be a platform I have any interest in selling one-offs. Because I only sell one-offs, I do not cater to a specific audience. I do not cater to a following. I don't cater to a niche market. It's just, I'm sure I would get a few sales, don't get me wrong, just by basic SEO. But for me, it's not something that would be worth focusing my energies on, because the reward, I feel, would be far less than the amount of money and effort to put into it. You have to balance that. Yes, you can sell on a million platforms at once. So like Teresa says, you can sell on 10, 11, 12, as many platforms as exist, but you have to make sure that you are focusing your time and energy on the platforms that are going to give you the best reward and return on your investment. Time is money. You can't spread yourself onto 75 platforms unless you're using Less Perfectly, which makes it a lot easier, and try to put all of your focus on everything at once, because something's going to fail. There's only so many hours in the day. So that's part of it.
I mean, the Shopify would work for me because I have like a really specific niche, and because what I sell is what's really popular within the vintage community on Instagram. And so having a Shopify store that's only like my higher end stuff, and the traffic would be pushed there if I am able to grow my my page on Instagram, my profile.
Right. For you, I think it's something that would definitely work. For me, I don't think it would be worth my energy, and I'm okay with that. Not everything's going to work for me. Like I said, I would. My goal is to probably get on Grailed within the next month or so. Katy's added 2 new platforms just in the last 3 or 4 months, so. It's a really good idea to learn and master the platforms that you're on before you add more, because you spend a lot of time chasing your tail trying to figure things out otherwise.
For sure.
So let's get to some of our solds, I think.
All right, let's do it. Let's start with you. What you got? What's this?
So this was a book that I picked up last weekend. I went to an estate sale. I picked up a bunch of stuff. I listed it and sold it the day after I listed it. I paid $3. I think I even showed it last weekend. I paid $3. It sold for $79.95 plus shipping. And I did ship it priority because I was pricing it high. I wasn't going to ship it medium mail, especially right now. Medium mail would probably take 2 months. So this is the highest sold of this book.
Weren't the comps around like $50?
Yeah, the comps were around 50 and some even less. And this is not in pristine condition, but it sold very quickly. So I was very happy with that. $3 into $80 in like a day. That's pretty cool.
Yep. All right. First one for me, Berserk. Yo. So this T-shirt I actually got this when we were in the Bay Area for Pride last year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We went. What happened is I went to. It was when we were out and about with. We had Robin and Alexis taking us around, and I went to. It was in Berkeley. I went to the the what can I think? Buffalo Exchange, and it was terrible. The one on campus was terrible. And so then I walked down the street to this little vintage shop, and everything was super high priced. And I think I only bought this is the only thing I bought, and it was priced at $50. And but it was really, really cool. And so I've had it for a little while, and it's a really small shirt. So
you've had it for a year.
Yeah, I've had it for a year. So I paid $50 for it. I accepted an offer for $100. So I was actually happy. I mean, I'm glad I bought it because I think it's just a really cool shirt. It's super small. So I got $100 for it. So I'm still happy with it.
Hip flipping mama.
What?
Hey, Kelly.
What is happening?
So this is one of those things. It's so hard to take good photos of these things because it's super long. And how are you supposed to take? Yeah, it's just the photos are terrible. Yeah. But whatever. Most of my photos are terrible.
Aww,
whatevs. Anyway, I picked this up when we were in Flagstaff. So
you got a staff in Flagstaff?
I got a staff in Flagstaff. So I think I had paid $12 for it. I've had it for just a couple of months. And it sold. I took an offer for $75 plus shipping. So not an extravagant sale, but 15 into 75. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, I think. And it wasn't in fantastic shape. It wasn't a particularly elaborate walking stick. You know, the more you have, you know, the more whatever.
I don't know.
Sandy wants to know, why not take the photo on the diagonal? Because then your arm would be in the photo. How the hell am I supposed to have it stand up on a diagonal?
Well, you could rotate your phone.
I suppose I could have. Yeah. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about the photos enough to do that. It represents what it is, and it's good enough for me. So.
Yeah. All right, next one for me is this Notre Dame sweatshirt. I got this at yesterday's Fits. I think I got when they were still in the old space. We were still buying stuff from there. So I probably paid tops like maybe $20 for this sweatshirt. But it was in brand new condition. It was dead stock. You can see it's got the little sticker on it right there. But just a cool.
That's cute. I like that
a
one.
Really cool sweatshirt. And I accepted an offer for $120. So I paid like $20 for it. Sold it for $120. It's just a really cool sweatshirt, I think. All right, next one for you.
Yes, Teresa, mediocre is good enough for me. I am not going to waste time doing editing and making sure my photos are perfect because I am taking time selling and listing instead.
See, it's true though. We do have very different views of like how we do certain things, and for her, photos aren't as important. Hold on, Stacey. Oh my goodness. Whereas I'm a little bit more of a perfectionist with my photos, but I mean, I don't take a crazy amount. I'm not one of those people who I'm not Sandy, let's just say, because I know Sandy is the one who's worried about how terrible her pictures are, shows everybody, look at her terrible pictures, and then they're like amazing.
Yeah.
But apparently she's staying up late at night thinking about how bad her perfect pictures are.
She's so funny.
Yeah, but I like my pictures to be better.
So Christine wants to know how I would ship that. I'm going to ship that the same way you would ship a baseball bat or a golf club, just the tubes from USPS. I'm going to probably stick 2 tubes together because I think it's too long for one.
Yeah.
That's it.
Teresa, yeah, I've seen your pictures.
Yes, Teresa, we've seen your photos.
I've seen your pictures. Okay, Teresa? I've seen your pictures. Continue.
All right. So nothing spectacular here. Just I wanted to say don't worry about picking things up that don't look perfect all the time, and being afraid to sell used items that look a little bit beat up, that have a little bit of wear. These are actually supposed to look like this. They have that oiled look to them. These are Ariat Western boots. I paid, I think, $17 for these, $16 or $17, something like that. It was under 20. And they sold relatively quickly. They've been listed for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. They sold for $90 plus the shipping. And I was, pretty happy with that. They were a good size. Right. Dana wanted to know, are we attempting a local meetup this month? No. Here's a couple of reasons why. One, the last meetup that we attempted to do, it's extremely difficult to talk with masks, and the masks are required. We couldn't hear each other, and until we are able to meet in person and not have to wear masks, I'm not going to do another meetup. It's just... you can't talk, you can't hear each other. It was very difficult.
Yeah.
Second, Britton is no longer working at the hotel, and we now need to find a new location again.
Yeah. So he pretty much ruined everything for us. So that's the way it goes. All right. Next one for me is this Detroit Red Wings jacket, which I had mentioned because it had sold, I think, last Sunday. I mentioned it on the show last week, or maybe it was on Wednesday. There was a Red Wings jacket that went out in one of the boxes that we gave away. It was not in Jen's unboxing, so I'm going to assume that Leslie got it in her box.
I'm sure, and she hasn't gotten her box yet.
Oh, she hasn't?
No, she's on the East Coast.
No, she's in Idaho.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. She's in Idaho. But anyway, she didn't get it yet. Jen got hers yesterday.
So, so this is a Red Wings starter jacket I had in my inventory, and it's funny because it sold just before we sent those boxes out, and it sold for $139.99, and I'm pretty sure.
And the other one was much nicer than this one.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit different style, but also a starter jacket. This one, I'm pretty sure I bought it from Jesse, and I probably paid around $30 for it, maybe $40, but I sold it for $140, so a pretty good flip. I like these old starter satin jackets. They're pretty nice.
Me too.
So yes,
I wanted to keep that Detroit one. That was a really nice one.
Yeah, I had to like pry it out of her hand.
She really did.
Like, we have to give it away, and she cried, and that was about it.
Seriously.
Yeah. All right, what's this one?
So this was one. This sold. I've had this for a while. I think I probably had it for at least 6 months or so. It was just a really cool, fun 80s pattern with the neon and the color block neon. I just wanted to say a lot of people get hung up on brands. And this is one of the examples I wanted to say. I did put the brand in it because it fit in the title, but this is something that the brand had nothing to do with why it sold.
Yeah. Nobody
is searching for this brand. It's not a desirable brand. Nobody gives a crap about this brand. I paid about $5 for this jacket. It sold for $95, and the customer does not care who made it. It's all about the style. You have to describe the style. It is really awesome.
You know what it really is though? Rad.
It's rad.
It's rad.
You're a dork.
Rad. Anyway, anything else on that one? Hello? Hello?
No, that's it. That's it.
Bueller?
I was reading what Kelly had said. Hip flipping daddy and I are watching roller derby on TV. A pink-haired Vicki kept taking everyone out. Made me think of you. Yay!
Yay!
I would totally do roller derby, except I'm old. I'm afraid I'd fall and break a hip. But if I wasn't, I would so totally want to be a badass roller derby girl and beat the crap out of people.
I feel like she would end up getting in. I feel like you'd get kicked out like your second week.
I'd be the one that would be throwing elbows and tripping bitches.
I don't know that you're really supposed to throw elbows necessarily. Okay. Next one for me, this magical t-shirt right here.
I've seen some people on roller derby. They're pretty tough.
They're pretty tough, but I feel like you'd punch somebody in the face, and that's not quite legal. Okay, so I have this Jesus t-shirt that's like a Harley Davidson t-shirt. I got this from Derek, and hopefully some of you guys were able to see him. He had his virtual flea debut yesterday. Did pretty good job. And anyway, I actually bought this from him like a couple of weeks ago, along with a couple of other items. And so this one I paid. So I bought 3 T-shirts from him for $350. But one of them was the O.J. Simpson T-shirt, and that one I paid like at least $200 for of that $350. So this T-shirt, we'll say I paid like $60 because I got this one. And I got Predator 2 and then the O.J. Simpson one. So I paid $350 for those 3. But this one is probably about $60 of that. So I'll say $60. And I accepted an offer for $150 on this one.
That's pretty cool, considering that is a no-name. It looks a lot like a 3D Emblem Harley shirt, but it's neither of those things. It's not Harley and it's not 3D Emblem, but it's made to look like it, and it definitely has that vintage 3D Emblem look to it.
It does.
So
yeah, it's got a great graphic on the front and the back.
Yeah, it's a really cool one.
Worship the best or die like the rest. Man, that makes me want to be rooting for Jesus. Anyway, so yeah, $150, and I'm pretty sure I said like I was hoping to get $150 for it. So when somebody I went back and forth a couple times with somebody. When they came up to $150, I'm like, sold.
Yeah,
sold. All right,
sold.
Next one, I sold them sold. Next one for you.
So this is just another one. I think I showed these in a haul last week or the week before. These were also listed less than a week. I paid $8 for these at Deseret, one of our on our last sourcing trip. Mephisto is always a good seller. Men's Mephisto shoes. I don't know so much about the women's, but the men's always sell really well. And they're nothing special. I mean, they're very well made. Those are ugly, you know, boat shoes, but $8 into $91 is pretty good.
Pretty good. All right, next up, I have this Las Vegas Thunder sweatshirt that I sold. What is this? This is Etsy. Yeah. Yeah, it still doesn't show the prices. Anyway, Las Vegas Thunder sweatshirt that I sold, and I actually sold somebody here in Las Vegas. Surprise, surprise. I had this listed for $69.99, and then it was 10% off, but actually I was on sale for 10% off. But let me show you what it sold for.
Is Flipper Tools working?
Yeah, it does for Etsy. It just doesn't for eBay because eBay is not
allowing them the info. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a price of $69.99. My regular sale was going on Etsy for 10% off, so that would have made it $62.99. But they actually used a 15% off code for an abandoned cart. So I have a thing set up where
I do too. Is that the first time anyone's ever used it?
It happens occasionally. It doesn't happen a lot.
Never had anybody use it.
That's exactly why I wanted to show this one.
It never worked.
It's probably happened like maybe 5 times total in all the time that I've been doing it on Etsy. So they have a thing where you can set up to send an email to people who have an abandoned cart. So that just means that, like, I have an abandoned cart. I put stuff in my cart all the time. I probably have 20 items in my cart right now.
Somebody needs to send your ass a coupon.
I know. Well, I do that because I possibly want to buy it. I'm not sure yet. And also in the hopes that I will get some sort of coupon at some point. But anyway, so they got a 15% off on it. So it was $59.49 for this sweatshirt. It's 115 degrees here, but they wanted their Las Vegas Thunder hockey sweatshirt. This league is not around anymore. So this is not a team that actually exists anymore. So, but still, cool sale.
Pretty cool.
All right, next one for you.
So again, talking about photos not being great. Here's the thing.
Well,
this was a tough one. I did try to take these photos in my photo area, and they just did not come out looking good at all. Not that this looks a lot better, but it is what it is. Whatever. So I just leaned him up against the front door. See, that was in the photo area. It wasn't photographing well. So
it was reflective, so it's probably hard to put the lights on.
Yep, exactly. And then I took the lights off and it looked too dark. So here we go. These cost me $10 at a garage sale. They were only listed about a week and a half. And they sold for $140 plus $40 shipping. They did cost every bit of that $40 to ship. They are heavy, but they were not difficult to ship. It was just Katy, Katy, Miss Wonderful. Katy made Frankenbox for me, which is her usual job as my unpaid assistant. So yeah.
Seriously.
So yeah, $10 into 140.
Yep. And luckily, it just went to California, right? You said?
No, they didn't go to California. These went to, I can't remember, but not California.
Oh, okay.
Pennsylvania, maybe?
Okay. All right. Next one for me is this Rude Dog t-shirt. This is another one that I picked up from yesterday's fits when they were moving. So I paid like $10 for it at the most. I might have even paid $5 for it.
I think this was a $5 one.
Because it was when we very first went and bought a bunch of stuff. I had to get it just because I thought it was cool, because it's just this like, it was like a crop top, half shirt, kind of surfer.
I don't think you call it a crop top. Well, I guess
it's a half shirt. It's meant to be short.
But crop top is a girl version.
Well, but do you remember? Okay, people.
But half shirt. I'm talking the terminology.
Okay.
Half shirt is something that you would wear if it's a man's shirt.
Sure.
Crop top is a woman's shirt.
And I put both in there. So either way, there's some guy that was reminiscing about the 80s and wanted to have his crop top half shirt. And actually, what happened is the woman bought it from me, and she bought it from me, and she actually paid $34.80 to ship it because she wanted it express. I did go check. She wanted to express because her husband's birthday is what's today, the 16th? Her husband's birthday is tomorrow. And back in 1988 or 89, she bought a Rude Dog t-shirt for her husband's 22nd birthday. Aww. And so his birthday is tomorrow, and she wanted to get him a Rude Dog shirt because to reminisce. And
how romantical.
Yeah, so she paid. So I'll show you real quick what the but it did get delivered yesterday, so I was happy. Or it took 2 days to deliver. So Express is supposed to be, yeah. So that's another reason I wanted to show that one, is because you know, she ordered it, I shipped it out the next day, and it took 2 days to get there. Whereas Express is supposed to be 1 day from when you ship it. Yeah, it's supposed to be 1 day. So $69.99. It was 10% off, so it was $62.99. Plus she paid $34.80. And for Express, I actually use the padded flat rate Express mail envelope, and those cost basically about $23 to ship. So so I actually made some money on the shipping as well with that. So pretty good. And she got it in time, so I'm sure she's happy.
That's really cute.
Yeah, I thought so. We'll see if he wears it. Oh, and she also, I was speaking of that, she said when she ordered it, she like messaged me to make sure it was going to get there on time, and she said that in her review she would post a picture of her husband in the shirt.
Awesome. So, I like that.
So we will get to see how it turned out.
I like that.
All right.
So this is just an example. I've had this for quite a while. I have to say this may be my oldest listing on eBay. It's at least 3 years old. And it's just one of those, this is Etsy that it ended up selling on, but it's been here for quite a while. As you can see, it has some issues. I clearly listed missing the sticker on one hubcap area. The steering wheel is partially broken. Side mirrors are missing. It's not in great shape, but it's an 18, it is a vintage Barbie car. So it sold finally. I haven't done anything with it. It was one of those things, it's kind of big. I almost tossed it. Because it was taking up real estate and hadn't sold in a long time.
What did it sell for?
It sold for $90 on Etsy, and it went international. The buyer paid like $45 to ship it.
Wow, that's crazy. Crazy, man. No, that wasn't from your.
No, that wasn't from my sister-in-law. It was before her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on that one?
That's it.
That's it.
It is from Barbie and the Rockers line, I believe. Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, I actually had four sales on Grailed this week. My Grailed and my Mercari has like come to a screeching halt. My Grailed has been a little bit slower, but I had like 4 different sales. And I'm you know, as I've kind of changed like the stuff that I'm sourcing and what I'm focusing on, I always like it when I sell stuff that I'm like, you know, I wouldn't pick that up now, but I'm glad that it's sold. I'm glad I've sold it and made some money on it. It's not that I wouldn't pick this up now because I don't think it's worth money. I mean, I guess I still would buy it if I got a really good deal on it, but it's just not, I'm not focusing on this kind of stuff as much anymore. So this is not a vintage jacket. This is a newer jacket, but it's the Negro League All-Stars jacket. So it's got like all, like from the back in like the 40s, like the 30s and 40s, the different Negro Leagues that were back, they called it the Negro League. And so it's got like all the different teams on it and stuff like that. Just a really interesting kind of piece of history. So I've had this for, I probably had it for a year. I don't think I paid more than 10, 15 bucks for it. And I sold it for $107. So I sold it for $99. You can see the smart pricing. It had gone all the way down to $99. And then they paid $8 shipping on top of that because they didn't do an offer. So I got $107 for this jacket. Shipped it on out, so it was a pretty decent sale for this week.
So Luke asked, how long did it take me to scale up my eBay business to be able to live on it full time? So here's the thing, I did eBay part-time for several years, so it wasn't like I had to scale it up to full-time pricing in any way. I was a mortgage broker for a very long time, and then I scaled it up and I was doing what some people would consider full-time income part-time. And then when I really wanted to go full-time, I scaled it up almost immediately. Within a couple of weeks, it was just, hey, now I need to list more and work harder. So I wouldn't use myself as an example that way because I've been doing this for almost 20 years. Yeah. So it really wasn't.
I mean, for me, it was like
Katy had to scale it up much faster.
Yeah, because I had left a job and I was on unemployment in Oregon, and I had 6 months to basically get to where I was making a full-time income before that unemployment was going to go away, and so it actually took me 8 months. But that was like from the beginning, working full time and building it up and adding listings,
having zero listings, pretty much
going from 0 listings to dealing with listing limits, you know, 10 listings at first, and then up to 50, and then 100, and then 300, and then 600. So basically, it was me just like boobs to the wall, as we say here on this channel, boobs to the wall, just like hitting my limits every single time, dealing with PayPal limits and all that stuff. So it was a struggle at first, but I was just like, all I was focused on full time was this. And I would say, even though my unemployment ran out at 6 months, I had 2 months where I really struggled a lot. But by month 8, I was making enough to pay my bills and to keep growing from there. So
yeah, and that
was out of necessity.
That number is going to be different for every single person.
Sure.
You know, it depends on where you live. It depends on your cost of living. It depends on your household bills. It depends on what type of things you're sourcing, what your ROI is on the items that you're sourcing, whether you have repeatables or you're selling, quantity versus profit on each item. You could be doing, small sales, but high profit, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Everybody's business model is going to look different. The only way that I can say that you can answer these questions is you need to start with the number that you need to make every month. And then you work backward from there and talk about what is your average sale price? What is your average buy price? What is your average profit on each item? So if you make an average of $20 profit on each item and you need to make $1,000 a month, this is how many units you need to sell. What is your average sell-through rate? There's a lot of mathing involved, but it can be done. You have to back into it and figure out what you need to do. And then you set your small goals that way.
Yeah. But the reality is, we know plenty of sellers who have been doing this for years, and they have thousands of listings, and they're still struggling because there are areas that they are not addressing that need to be addressed. So, there's never going to be a magic number because there's too many factors that go into it.
Everybody's different. There are plenty of people that have homes in different parts of this country. You can buy a house for $75,000 and your mortgage is very small. Mm-hmm. I couldn't buy a shed for $75,000 here.
You probably could.
Or maybe a shed. But everybody's different. It's, everybody's cost of living is different. Our cost of living here is a little bit lower than it was for her, both in Portland and for me on the East Coast, but it's still not a low cost of living here. We're just a little bit lower than either coast happens to be. We're slightly in. And that's going up every day too. So everybody's different.
Yeah. Yep. It just all depends. Okay. So next one for you right here. What you got?
This is just one of my basic finds that I tell people about. This is a vintage satin trim blanket. This happened to be king size, which you don't find very often. Usually they're double or full size or queen size. You don't find them as often in the queen size. I definitely paid less than $10 for this. Probably somewhere around the $6 or $7 range. That's generally what I pay for these.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what it sold for.
Sold for $129.95.
What?
Plus I charged $12.95 shipping.
Man, those things are all over the place, guys. You're leaving money behind. It's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy. All right.
I get why people like them. They're very soft.
Yeah.
Personally, the idea of a used bedding skeeves me out.
Yeah.
So I don't care how many times you wash it. It just does.
I think
that's me. Not everybody's like that.
That's one of those like low key, like super money maker type of items, because most people, if they were like sourcing in a thrift store, they would see that and they wouldn't, unless you had specifically heard that they are something that sells, it just doesn't jump out. It's not like a Pendleton blanket. It's not like, so it's just, I feel like it's still something that you can pick up. I see people, I don't know what the original question was about shipping.
Do you use eBay branded mailers or do you have others?
Yeah. So I don't care about sending eBay mailers to somebody that I sold to on Mercari or Instagram or whatever. I get all of my poly mailers for free, or at least it's built into the cost of my store subscription. So I get $150 every 3 months. So I go ahead and I never buy mailers, and so all of my stuff goes out in eBay mailers, or they go out in the padded flat rate priority mailers. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care if somebody that I sell to on Grailed gets an eBay mailer. So
I ship almost everything out in my eBay mailers as well, but I do buy some fun, cute pink ones. Mm-hmm. I have been sending my Posh stuff in the pink ones, but I even send my eBay ones in the pink ones. So whatever it fits in. I tend to not use my eBay stuff for Posh, but only on Posh, because Posh people are jerks.
Yeah.
And I have gotten.
They're a little high maintenance.
And I'm not giving the free shit. I'm not making it pretty with a bow. And God bless you if you do that. Good for you if you want to do that with your stuff. I don't have time to do that. But I don't send the eBay mailers on Posh for one reason only, because I did get a 2-star on packaging once, and the only thing I can think of, it was a T-shirt for crying out loud that went in a poly mailer, and the only thing I can think of is that it went in an eBay poly mailer. So
it's like whatever. It's just for me. It's like it's an unnecessary expense. I mean, maybe if like my Instagram like blew up huge, and like my brand was something big on Instagram, then I'd be like, you know what, I should like get custom mailers made. But until that happens, I don't give a shit.
You Pack and Ship does custom mailers, by the way. Yeah. With your logo.
So maybe that'll be something I'll do someday, but not anytime soon. Okay, so
buy stickers and put it on a plain color mailer, and there you go. It's custom mailer.
All right. Over my eBay. But
have your logo.
Yes.
Printed on stickers. Then you take the sticker and stick it on a mailer.
Okay. Thank you.
There's your custom logo.
All right. I'll talk to you about that, and then whenever that ever happens, if never. Anyway, if never. So Grailed, I don't buy. I'm not even looking at jerseys anymore. I don't buy them. They're just not my thing. It's one of those things like shoes. It's like there's too much that I don't want to have to worry about or think about. So for the most part, I don't buy them. I don't list them. But this is a cool Red Wings jersey, stitched. I've had it for who knows how long, probably over a year. But I mean, I'm using the curtain in the background, so it's an older one. But again, sold it for $99 plus $8 shipping on the old Grailed. So it was a nice little. It's like
old Grailed.
It's like I also sold like a Patagonia vest left from like a year. It's like for some reason this week Grailed decided like we're gonna throw $400 at you. Give us the stuff you've had sitting around forever.
Hey,
I'm like, all right, cool.
That works.
Thanks.
This was not listed very long either. I know I showed this in a haul. Picked this up at a garage sale as well. Paid $4 for it. I think we picked it up like 3 weeks ago at a garage sale, maybe 4 because we traveled. But it took me a while to get it listed. So this was listed a week, maybe a week. I don't even think it was listed that long. It has issues. It was not perfect. It had a couple of bends that you can see. I put it right there. The fan is in nice shape, but a few of the feathers are a little warped, as you can see from the side photos.
Mm-hmm.
But it has a nice vintage brass patina. I think it was very accurately described. Other than that, it was in good shape. So it sold for sold for $200 plus shipping. I had charged, I believe, $40 shipping, because even though it's not very big, it is heavy. It is solid brass, so it is pretty heavy. So $4 into $200 in about a week. I'm good with that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right, last one is this Tesla T-shirt.
My boys.
Huh?
I said my boys.
Yeah. This is like one of the last few. I think I just have like a handful of the T-shirts left from that that buy that I did from Barry not quite a year ago. I've sold most of them. I've definitely made my money back like very long time ago. So all of it now has been gravy for quite a while. So sold it for $85. I think somebody made an offer and I was like, yeah, whatever, $85, cool. So I'm actually more than happy to let that go, because it's like, come on, time for a while. Time to move on.
I do love my buddy Jacob in the chat there that has a song for everything. I appreciate that. Yep. Very much. I'd have to send this picture of this to Troy. You have to send me a picture. I happen to be friends with Troy Lacetta, the drummer from Tesla, and I have to send him a picture of that one because he's got the worst
name drop.
I know. He's got the worst mullet in that photo on that shirt. It's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Barry says he has more for you, Katie.
What? Well, I saw he had he's got like a there was like a bulk buy thing he had up on Instagram. So, but he always has more for me these days. I mean, like, come on, Barry. You keep sending me more stuff. You always have more stuff for me to buy from you. I love the dead stock. Actually, I didn't even bring you those up. Dang it. Maybe next week. I bought like a whole dead stock box from him of a bunch of sports T-shirts. Really good stuff. And it was like really good price from him. You know, I was telling him, and I was telling Vicki that it was great filler inventory for me, because it wasn't like stuff that like I'm going to take on the virtual flea and make $1 million off of, but it was really, really cool vintage, like early 90s, a lot of dead stock sports stuff that will sell really well. And it's like the stuff that I want in my store to make some good money on. And he didn't, you know, he gave me like a great reasonable price, you know, so.
Yep, for sure.
I love it. 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 What's some more of it? Anyway, so that's it for our sales highlights for the week.
Yeah.
Want to get into our haul? I'm really bummed now that I didn't remember to.
Would you like me to start and you want to go get some?
I'll go grab a couple of them.
So everybody can see
I'll grab a couple
your pajamas.
I know, my pajamas go really well with my shirt.
Yep. Pajama bottoms on screen.
Yep.
All right, so I get to start. Yay. So I picked up a bunch of stuff at an estate sale I went to with Britain on Friday. We decided to hit up some estate sales. The first one started at 7 a.m. I have to say I'm pretty proud. He and his friend, our friend James, came over, and James' wife came over Thursday night. We do a little board game thing once in a while. We used to go do trivia, but you know, since COVID, not a lot of places are open, and we're not really into the trivia thing with people at bars right now. So we've been doing a game night here and there at the house. So we did that Thursday night. We're geeks. And then Friday morning, he was still up in here at 6:30 in the morning to hit an estate sale for 7 a.m. So I'm impressed. Anyway, he didn't do so well at the first two, but he did get some good stuff at the last estate sale. But one of the things I picked up, I paid about 50 cents each for these. They are nothing spectacular, but what I have here is a ton of dead stock vintage 70s and 80s kitchen towels. So they're 50 cents each. Most of them have tags on them, or some of them have tags on them. They're just really cute. Now, am I going to list them all individually? I haven't decided yet. Probably not. I probably will do a lot of them, but I'm not entirely sure. I might do them individually. They're probably like, here's the thing, because they're dead stock and they fit certain themes and stuff like that, I might do them for like 20 bucks a piece. They'll probably sell on Etsy. Just total vintage. Everybody has seen this type of stuff. It probably brings you back, right? The mushroom one. I mean, it's silly.
I love the mushroom one,
but I paid 50 cents a piece. So, I mean, they're very cute. What else did I pick up? This one estate sale we went to, which was the last one, was like, they literally opened the doors. They had 2 days. Somebody passed away in the family. They had to fly there to help clear out the house. It was a family-run estate sale. They hadn't even cleared anything out. They just said, come in. Everything is for sale. Just dig. So it wasn't like they had stuff set off. Nothing was priced. I just made a huge pile in the middle of the dining room table. It wasn't even advertised. I actually unplugged this from the desk where it was plugged in on the desk. So one of the things, this is a bolo to pick up, by the way. This is a document scanner and receipt scanner called the Neat scanner. So I unplugged this from the desk. It has the plugs and everything. It doesn't have the software, but you can download the software from the website. If this were new, these things sell for like $140 new, but used, I can still probably get about 65, 75 bucks for it. Overall, I paid $40 for everything that I purchased, and I purchased a crap ton of stuff from them. So this was one of them.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Very nice.
Let's see. This was my other find. Same house. It has a hole in the back, so I do have to patch the hole a little bit. But look at this.
Oh, yeah. Where's Dana? It's a good one.
Velvet, sad clown, painted.
Here's
you can see the hole. There's a couple little holes.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. I probably won't get great money for it, but it's awesome. It is vintage. It is hideous. I think I may have to hang it next to Jesus for a while.
We can hang out together.
Because Jesus still has not sold my velvet Jesus.
But we like him up on the wall.
Yeah. And it was not a meat scanner, Sandra. That's gross. And then the other thing I picked up, and then Katy can go, and then that's all my hard goods. I have a lot of good clothes to show, but is this. This was made in 1964 because it's signed on the back. Made this for her. Fran made this for her mother in 1964.
Christmas of 1964.
This is just a cool vintage. I think it's like embroidery, but it's like long stitch embroidery. I'm going to take it out of the frame. It's a glass frame. I'm going to take it out of the frame and ship it rolled because this is an ugly wood frame. But anyway, I thought it was pretty cool. I think I paid $3 for it.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
All right, my turn. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to sell it for. Probably list it for like 75 or so.
Yeah. So Barry in the chat said he didn't tax me, which for those of you who come to our show, it's a place where without fear of ridicule you can learn the lingo of the youngins. And so that's a new one, or that's another one that they say, you don't want to be taxing somebody, basically trying to make them pay too much or whatever. But I think they also say tax, like if somebody's trying to push you to like sell stuff for too low as well. It's basically kind of like taking advantage of the other person. So you might say if somebody's trying to sell you something for too much, or you have something to sell and they're trying to
trying to tax
lowball you too much. Basically it's kind of a respect thing. Anyway, yeah, definitely did not tax me. I got 27 pieces. The vast majority of it was dead stock. And I paid a very fair price for it. So I'll definitely make money off of this. This is the kind of stuff like I would buy these kinds of lots all day long because it's just great. So I ended up with like a few sweatshirts in there. I don't think these ones, this one might be new, but I probably won't put it up as dead stock.
Totally feels like dead stock. It's super crispy, crunchy.
Yeah, so this is just the cool. I like this one because it's not even like it's not.
I think it's dead stock. Looks like it's got a factory fold in it.
Okay, it's not team specific, so it's just a cool vintage football
Miller Lite beer
sweatshirt. Yeah, Miller Lite. It's just a cool sweatshirt. I like it. It's good size.
Or is that Bud Light? Is it Miller Lite or Bud Light? I think it's Miller Lite.
Miller Lite. So I actually didn't even realize there were sweatshirts in the box. So I was actually pleasantly surprised that I got a few cool sweatshirts out of the deal. Because I do I know t-shirts are all the rage right now, but I do like a good sweatshirt.
Now the sports gal loves that one.
Yeah. And then if Liz is still in the chat, I always think it's funny when I get all the Colorado stuff. But since Barry is in Colorado right now, a lot of the stuff is Colorado stuff. But this is just a really cool 1990 Colorado Orange Bowl sweatshirt, and this one is just great. I don't even think the camera is doing the colors and the graphics justice. It's really nice. Another really crispy one. Look at that. It's good. It's really nice.
Gold.
Yeah, it's a really.
This feels dead stock too.
For sure. Just a really awesome sweatshirt.
That weird scratchy.
Yeah, I love it. I like how this over here helps. Then I've got like a Colorado Rockies. Dead stock, new with tags, just a cool opening day, inaugural season. So this is from their first year as a team. So that's pretty cool. Can you hold it? Yeah, if you can hold it. I have these already all processed to take pictures of, so I don't want them to get all wrinkled again or wrinkled at all. This one is a Denver Nuggets dead stock t-shirt. I actually got a couple of these ones. This is pretty cool. Silver anniversary. And there are a lot of people out there who collect these t-shirts. I know Jesse is one of them, the kind of caricature faces t-shirts. So that's a cool one.
Did you show Jesse that one?
I didn't. I might let him know that I have it. This one I really like, and I actually have two of these in different sizes. I like this one. I like these Final Four t-shirts. And this is the one that's got Duke, Arkansas. I've sold some of these before, not necessarily the exact same graphics, but Georgia Tech and UNLV Final Four 1990. Really cool graphic. You can see it's dead
Matt was liking all these. Yeah. Stop. This stuff is unreal.
Here's what I really love about this. I'm sure Barry got a kick out of it too. It's on the trench tag. But what I really like about it is it still has the Walmart tag on it. So back in the day, you went to your Walmart and you picked this up for $6.96. Really cool
That's
t-shirt.
when I was working at Walmart. What year is this?
1990.
No, sorry, 93.
Yeah.
93. I helped open the first Walmart in Rhode Island. That was my first job right out of high school.
Yeah, and then here's this is a MLB Major League Baseball t-shirt. Again, dead stock. I got a couple of these E-Train, and these are on the Delta tag right here. So it's like early. These are all like kind of 90 to early 90s. Just really cool. Dead stock. This is one of my favorites because I don't understand it. And
how much are you going to sell these for, by the way? These are all going to be what, the $40, $50
I mean, they're going to be at least probably $50. It depends on what it is.
Because you're not talking about that, so I'm trying to.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm into them at about a little over $10 a piece, and And so I'll probably be selling them, you know, at least like average $50 a piece. But this one, so this is a dead stock Nebraska. Actually, this one isn't dead stock, but this one's a Nebraska.
Yes, it is. It's a tag at the.
Okay. Huskers t-shirt. But what I've never in my life seen this. So this is like a women's. You can see like see how the collar's like this thin collar and the way that the sleeves are cut. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's got the pocket. So grandma, her grandson's going to school at Nebraska, and she puts either you put your sewing stuff in here, maybe your smokes, maybe your Pall Malls, maybe your Virginia Slims, your measuring tape. I don't know.
It's a pretty long t-shirt. It's too short. It's too short to be a nightshirt, but it's like a long tunic length t-shirt with an odd pocket at the waist.
Yeah, so this is just really interesting.
Too short for her knitting needles. I don't know what the heck.
I don't know. It's great. And then the last one I'll show, like I said, I got like 27 pieces, so I didn't bring all of them upstairs. But the last one I'll show is this really cool 1990 Super Bowl, San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. I actually got 2 of these as well. I think they're in different sizes. But this is just a really cool 1990.
Bridget says a cell phone pocket. Bridget, they didn't have cell phones. It's a cell phone pocket now. Yeah. It wasn't a cell phone pocket then.
So yeah, so I was really, this is like
Mel says, okay, I'm officially dead.
This is one of my favorites.
I guess she's gonna be watching your store
from Barry in a while because, like I said, you know, it's not. Yes, I've been selling T-shirts for higher prices lately and getting some that, you know, I'm selling for a few $100s or more even. But it's like I need like good quality stuff to put in my store that isn't going to be that crazy. I can't live on the crazy stuff alone. And I actually think these are really cool. I always like this stuff, and so I'm happy to have gotten like a really good box of.
Will has weighed in and says he thinks it's a cigarette pocket.
Yeah.
Grandma tissues go in that pocket. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what it is.
For sure. I love it. Anyway, never seen that before, but.
So this is one. That's funny. So this is one of the things I picked up. I just thought this was a really cool sweatshirt. I picked this up at the house that that Britt and I went to, where I got the clown and everything. I'm gonna say I grabbed a bunch of vintage stuff, and so did Britt. But I will say that it was all filthy, like hanging in the closet. But I don't know. Did this guy, you know, rest his soul, whoever the guy was, did he not wash his clothes? I don't freaking know. But I washed everything, and Katy helped me with this one. But it came clean. This was filthy. I only paid like 50 cents an item, so I took the chance. Like, if I wasn't gonna be able to clean it, I would just toss it. But look at this. Look at this. It's like the epitome of 80s, right? Look at the sweatshirt with the stripes.
Clothes, Formula Challenge.
And it's got like this frayed collar. This reminds me of the Lamborghini sweatshirt that I sold several months ago. It was a little bit more trashed than this, but I think I can get $75 for this.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. The black was a little brighter before, but it was so stained that I was like, let's just go ahead and put it in an oxy bath for a while. But what happened is it pulled a lot of that black.
The oxy bath was black, pitch black, and it turned and it was redepositing it on the white stripes as gray.
Yeah.
So then we had to use a color remover.
Yeah, I have. Wash. You should always keep. Next time you go to the store, if you don't have them, you should always have that. What's the name of the brand? Somebody out there knows. It's that the stuff that you use. RIT. The RIT dye remover. It's really cheap. It's like $1.50 a box of them, and it's still. I swear they keep it cheap by never changing the design on their packaging.
Yeah, it's been like that for
from like the 70s.
You know, Bridget's like, I like the faded black. Yeah. I do too, actually. I like the way it ended up fading out, but it took the stains out. The white was like, it was just filthy. So anyway, and now that it's faded, it's actually cooler.
Yeah.
I like it.
It looks really cool.
So let's see. Yeah, color guard sheets are good when, but not when you're soaking it in the OxyClean, which was what made it all the color bleed out. Vintage members only jacket. If I told you how disgusting this collar was when I got it, it had talk about ring around the collar. It was like you could have scraped the sludge off. It was gross. Not no more. It's nice and clean now. It does have a couple of spots on the sleeves, but it's clean. It was gross. Probably a $40 one. This is vintage, but it's not the great the rainbow tag.
It's like 90s.
So this is 90s. 80s vintage would sell a little bit more, but it's a color I've never found before, and I have a lot of these.
Yeah.
So probably like $40. All right, let's see. So these are some items that I got from the
Liz wants to know a little more about how you scraped his dead neck.
Yes. So gross. Oh. So gross. What I clean the collar with, I just it like this.
We had some oxy
spray and a toothbrush, and I scrubbed the spray into it, and then just double wash in the hot water in the washing machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Britton said he passed on it was because it was so filthy. Now it's clean.
So Jamie wants to know about the dye remover. So the thing with I see other people throwing out other things they use, but the thing with the RIT dye remover, it works especially well in something like anytime, let's say you wash something and you accidentally wash it with red, or you get one of those, ring collar t-shirts that has a red collar, you wash and it bleeds. When it's like a fresh dye, you can just throw it right back in the wash, dump a packet of the RIT dye remover in there, and you just wash it like you would normally wash it, and it just pulls that out of the white fabric. And so you don't have to, it's not like you have to do anything.
But it's something you have to do like right away. You can't find something that has a red faded, has a red bleed dye and try to do it like after you
try it, but it's probably not going to be effective. So,
all right, Barry, not thrift fever. That was not Barry. It was Rick. All right, Rick with the pits word. Anyway, so now I'm going to show some of the things that I got from this big, huge carload of stuff I picked up yesterday. Rick, I'm glad you're in the chat because you're going to recognize this name because I know that you've mentioned it before. But one of the things this lady liked is she liked cashmere. So she had a lot of nice vintage cashmere sweaters. So, and they were all in very nice shape. Every single thing was on a hanger. So I'm actually even selling the hangers because they are the heavy duty clear plastic hangers with the metal hook. So I'm going to be selling those in lots because believe it or not, they sell. And I probably have about 300 hangers. So I'm going to sell them probably in lots of whatever I can fit in a box. Anyway, so one of the things I picked up is this, a bunch of, she had 4 or 5 of these sets of Bernard Altman cashmere. So it's just cashmere sweater sets. It has, this one's from like the 40s or 50s. I haven't checked the tag specifically, but 40s or 50s. And it has the zipper in the back.
Ooh.
And the little, the short sleeves, but then it has the cardigan that goes over it. And she had 4 or 5 of these sets. This will sell for about $100.
See, that's good.
So right there's my profit on the what I purchased.
Real quick, Tracy says that Frankie wants to see the shirt that I'm wearing. This is a shirt that Vicki got for me. It's not vintage, but it's just a fun little mashup of the movie Rad and the movie Nightmare on Elm Street. So, when Freddie likes to do a little BMXing, pretty cool, pretty cool.
So does it? Someone said, do hangers stretch out sweaters? I keep all my sweaters on hangers. Hangers stretch out sweaters if the hangers do not have rounded edges, or if the sweater is too heavy for the hanger, it's going to put pressure on it. The other thing that it's going to do is if you happen to hang sweaters when they're damp or wet, that's when you're going to get it stretched out and you're going to get those little points in the shoulders. But I keep all of my sweaters in my inventory on hangers. Everything this woman had was on hangers. So I've got like a bunch of these sweater sets. These are really pretty cashmere sweater sets. If you find cashmere cheap enough, you should always pick it up, even if it happens to have a little hole in it. It doesn't matter what the brand name is. Cashmere is a lot cheaper than it used to be. But if you find it, people buy it put them in a hole. The ones that have holes or no name, put them in a lot and sell them for cutters. People buy them for cutters. So let's see. Let's do a couple more. And then Katie, you can do more. Got some vintage. She had some of her husband's stuff in there, but we've got some vintage Cuban Guayabera. I can't say the word right. I'm sorry. Shirts. So we've got, this is a 70s big collar. They've got the pockets on the top and the pockets on the bottom. So vintage cotton. They're just like, it's a Cuban style design. I've got 2 of these. These are going to sell for at least $50 a piece. I might price them a little higher. Haven't decided yet. Both vintage 70s.
Those also called wedding shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them are considered wedding. When they have the pocket in the front. Yeah, sometimes they're called wedding shirts too. This one's really nice. This is the one that I'll price probably the highest. It has some really nice hand embroidery on it.
More cigarette pockets. You can have 4 packs of cigarettes in there at a time.
They still make Cuba Vera is a brand as well, and they still make these types of shirts currently. They sell them at like JCPenney and stuff. So it's not just that specific style is always going to be worth money, but the vintage ones are worth more because they're nicer.
Yeah.
People okay, so Guayabera is the style. Cuba Vera is a brand. Thank you.
So people are asking about what cutter means. That's just using the fabric to make other things out of it. So it's just you buy the cashmere sweater with a hole in it because you're going to cut it up, literally cut it up to make something else out of it. Anyway.
So Maria says I said it right, and I'm Cuban, so she's Cuban. So
go.
thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't slaughter it.
Don't encourage her.
You can go. I only have like a few more.
Okay, so like I said, I'm going to be going on the virtual flea on Saturday. So I've got stuff that I've already shown you guys before that I'm going to be having, like that, like the Arachnophobia t-shirt. I'm going to be wearing my Freddy t-shirt, not this one, but the actual vintage one. So I'm still working. I still have some stuff coming in, but I've been picking up different things. So actually, I got a Pocahontas t-shirt from Jessie on Tuesday. And when I was doing research on it, I saw that somebody had another one, the same t-shirt, only a bigger size listed. And I went ahead and bought it because I bought it for like $60. And so I think that it could sell for more. So I'm actually going to just sell the one I got from Jessie in one of the platforms. And this one I'll probably have for the auction or for the virtual flea because it's a bigger size. It's an XL. The Disney stuff's going really crazy right now. This is a nice big XL. It might even be dead stock. It's in really nice condition. But all the Disney stuff's been doing really, really well. You know, I don't think that this one's going to necessarily go for $1 bazillion, but it'd be nice to get like 100 out of it. Like my Lion King last week that sold for, what did they sell it for? 3.7. I don't remember. How dare you? How dare you? I sold for 300.
Out the other.
Yeah. This is I keep forgetting the name of it, but this is somebody out there probably knows. This is from a PlayStation game. It's like Babsy or Bubsy or somebody out there knows what it is.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's a PlayStation character from the 90s. I picked this up for like $30 on eBay. It's on a Fruit of the Loom tag. It's a nice character, so I'm hoping, you know, everything video game, cartoon, Disney, that kind of stuff is just like really popular. So this is kind of more of like, I bought it on instinct. I have no idea if it will do well.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know if it will do well. I just know it's a popular character from a video game in the 90s, and it's all about nostalgia with these guys. So I feel like this one, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and buy that for $30 because maybe I'll be able to sell it for a whole bunch on Flea. So we'll see.
So I feel like, I just want to interrupt real quick. I feel like a lot of people are talking about the whole cutters thing. Just to address it one more time. I'm not saying go out and find cashmere sweaters, but if you find them at a thrift store for the 99-cent day, or you happen to buy one and you don't notice a hole until you get it home, or you get them at a garage sale real cheap, if you find cashmere that has holes, put them in a box and save them until you have a pile of them to sell them as a lot. That's all I'm saying. Don't sell one as a damaged one, because that's not going to be worth a heck of a lot. But you don't need to get rid of them. Don't toss them. So and I've done it. You know, we've all brought stuff home and realized it has damage, and you're like, oh crap, I shouldn't sell that. So yeah, cashmere is something. 100% cashmere, not cashmere blend, but 100% cashmere.
Yeah. I picked this is another one I bought off of eBay. I think I paid like $30 for it. My Stepmother's an Alien. That is a Kim Basinger, Dan Aykroyd movie. I don't know if you guys remember it.
I saw it a bazillion years ago.
From the late 80s. And, you know, this one more, I just want to probably turn it around and maybe sell it for like $70 or something like that. Because it doesn't have like an exciting graphic on there or anything, but it's a cool shirt. This is another one I picked up. I bought this about like 4 or 5 things from a seller in Malaysia. Which, by the way, they ship DHL and it comes faster than stuff from across the country. But this is really cool because it's all over print. What are you giggling at over there?
I'm laughing at Jacob's comment. Sorry. Jennifer Gray's quote from Dirty Dancing. Jacob, I feel like we're connected because I love the all of the chats and the quotes.
You guys are pretty silly.
It's Jennifer Gray's comment to Patrick Swayze, and
she says they retrofit it to.
But she says it all pathetic and teary-eyed. But most of all,
So this is, I think this is really cool. This is an all over print Indiana Jones, but it's not Indiana Jones. It is the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. For any of you that were kids in the early 90s, you might have watched this television series that I think was only around for like 2 seasons, but it was, the Young Indy Adventures. But this is a really cool all over print, single stitch. I bought it off of a seller on Etsy in Malaysia, and I haven't seen any other ones out there. So I'm really hoping for that nostalgia factor to kick in.
Pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I think it's pretty cool.
I feel like I need to go watch Dirty Dancing again as well. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. The whole like carried a watermelon. I mean, can I just tell you? I can quote that movie. Like, it was the summer of 1963, and everybody called me baby, and it didn't occur to me to mind. Yeah, that's how it starts. I know that movie inside and out. Top Gun and Dirty Dancing. Those are the two.
Some of the stuff I don't remember if I showed it last week. Did I show this last week?
Somebody asked, did Young Indiana Jones, did that have River Phoenix in it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it was after he died.
No, it was. Did I show this last week?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. This is probably the one like at this moment I'm most excited about trying to sell on the flea on Saturday. This Psycho Universal Studios T-shirt. It's really, really cool. It's like nicely faded. It's double-sided. It's just like a crazy horror tee. And they did like a bunch of them in this style. Like, I think I've seen like the King Kong one where it's that film reel and it shows the thing, but there aren't currently any of these available on any of the sites right now. And so I picked this up on Etsy, and I think I paid like $70 for it. But this is one that I think could go for quite a bit because it's like a really good size, an extra large. And again, the whole thing with the virtual flea and stuff like that is you have people who are trying to like outbid each other, and if you can't go get it somewhere else, then you're more likely to kind of get a little crazy and overpay for something because you want it. But it is really, really cool.
It's very cool.
I love it.
We have a whole conversation about coming out and watching Dirty Dancing in the chat happening right now. You guys kill me. Sandra, you're funny.
Yeah, we got funny chatsters in there. You guys crack me up. Yeah.
And Barry says the Psycho is straight gas.
Yeah.
Apparently that's another.
Yeah. It means it's lit. It means it's fire.
I do that right? Brr. No, I didn't do it right. You told me I needed to roll my tongue next time I did it. Damn it.
Anyway, so let's see. I got some weird random stuff. Like, I picked this up at yesterday's Fits because it just looked interesting. So it says do something. This is Guess. This is like a 90s.
I think that's relevant now, damn it. That's a relevant shirt. I would wear that shirt if it didn't look like a box.
But it's like a Guess blockbuster collab. I don't really know like if this was like an employee t-shirt or what. But
was it from a movie? Did you look and see if it was from the movie?
No, it's not. What movie?
I don't know.
Is there a movie called Do Something?
Maybe there's a movie called, maybe it's a quote from a movie.
I don't know. I guess that'd be a good thing to know. Anybody out there know that? So maybe you'll know. But I didn't pay too much for this. I think I paid like $20 for it. But I know that, again, nostalgia thing, the whole like being able to go to Blockbuster or rent a movie. So I went ahead and picked that one up.
I like it.
I like it. I like it.
Jacob says, of course you know, Jacob. What is it from?
Let's see, what else do I have on here?
He might be more of a trivia buff than you, Katie. I don't know, between the trivia and the movie, but more my age bracket of stuff. Yeah. It was Billy from Melrose Place, his giving back to the community program, Do Something.
What?
You are a font. Did you Google that, or are you making that shit up? Are you just
pulling that out of your ass, Jacob?
No, I'm not doing it again, Barry, because Katie makes fun of me.
Do it.
Nope.
Come on, do it.
No.
Interesting.
Andrew Shue, yeah, that's who Billy was on Melrose Place.
But that was like a real life thing that they were doing.
I'm writing it down for you. Okay. You're gonna forget.
Okay. Check this out, guys. So this is a Wayne's World T-shirt. Now this is a little bit weird because it's got a hole that goes straight through it here, and then another one down here. But it's super cool t-shirt. It's actually a Stanley DeSantis t-shirt, the Wayne's World Tour. The date on it is 1991.
Apparently that shirt is selling for $200 right now.
Which went, well, yeah.
Do something shirt.
Oh, well, it's probably mine.
Oh.
I have it listed.
Probably is yours.
Anyway, people tell me, what year did Wayne's World come out?
87.
I don't think it was 80. No, it was 90s.
89.
Nah, I think it was 90s. Somebody quick, Google it for us. What year did Wayne's World come out?
Party on. Excellent.
Because I think this might be from the show as opposed to the movie. But it's 1991. But I think it's a pretty awesome t-shirt.
I don't think it's 93. It's definitely before 93. And I'll tell you how I know. My entire cheerleading team was obsessed with Wayne's World, and we went to go see it as a team like 3 or 4 times. And I was in, that had to have been 90 or 91. It was not 90.
People are saying 93. I need a definitive answer, guys. You have access to Google. I've gotten 5 different numbers in there. So I need somebody to say, I'm saying this because I know it's true, and I'm not just throwing it out there.
It could have been 92. Definitely not 93.
Okay, but the point is, this t-shirt says 91, and I want to know, okay, there we go. I believe Tracy because she's throwing like a real date out.
See, Jacob says, I had a girlfriend in 91, and that was one of our dates. And he remembers because it went so badly.
So this is a Wayne's World t-shirt from Saturday Night Live, not from the movie, because this is dated 1991.
So it's pre-movie.
Is my point.
That's even better.
Yes. So I think it's pretty cool. And then...
And Google pulled up Katie's listing.
I'm okay with that. Now, this is like a really weird t-shirt that I almost didn't get it, and then I got it for like $20. So I was like, yeah, I'll just get it. Because I'm like, I don't know if somebody's going to want to buy this or not. So it's just like a weird random thing. So the front of it says, I just came from Never Never Land. Okay. Nice big block letters. This is a single stitch vintage t-shirt.
And they do not mean Michael Jackson's Never Never Land. Because that's what I thought.
That's Neverland. Never Never Land is freaking Peter Pan.
Oh, that's true.
So why are you having it? What's Michael Jackson got to do with it?
I don't know.
The back says never, never, never pay full price, and it's Marshalls. So this is a vintage Marshalls t-shirt. So I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be anybody that's going to want this. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I'll probably price it high anyway and just see what happens. And then when it doesn't sell, I'll drop the price. But just kind of a cool t-shirt. I like it. I like it.
You like it.
I like it. But you have more stuff you're showing?
I have like 3 things.
Okay.
Then we can be done. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was funny because so our friend Julie, downtown Julie Brown, she sent me a message. She's like, hey, somebody I know just put a bunch of really cool horror t-shirts up on Instagram. And she's like, I know they're not vintage, but I thought maybe you'd like them. And so I went and looked, and it's just somebody that sells mostly hard goods normally. And they had like all these listings because it was like their own personal collection. They're all smaller sizes, like mediums and smalls. But they weren't vintage, but there were quite a few of them that were from like the early mid 2000s. And here's the reason I'm bringing this up is because the times are changing, and stuff from the early and mid 2000s is considered more desirable now. Not just anything. We're talking like movie, like the stuff that people are really into, the kids are really into as far as like movie t-shirts, like horror movie t-shirts from the early and mid 2000s. As long as they still have a tag on them, like they haven't gotten into the printed tags. Like when it's printed on the fabric, no go, not going to be worth anything. Don't buy it to resell it. But some of like the early mid 2000 stuff can sell for a lot. And so there's one shirt in particular. I think the box is coming tomorrow. There's a Hellraiser one in there.
It's a badass Hellraiser shirt.
It's a badass Hellraiser shirt, and I think it's from like it's either 2002 or 2004. I can't find any others like it online. And that one I think I'm going to put up for auction on the virtual flea. So you guys should definitely come watch me on Saturday, because I'm really curious to see if it goes for a lot of money, because it's not technically vintage. And the movie's from the 80s, so it's like a movie t-shirt from the 80s printed in the 2000s. Is it going to sell for a lot? I don't know. And I might even throw in my Pinhead autograph picture and like put that together with it and be like,
why?
Because it'd be fun.
Okay.
Why?
Right.
Anyway, I have a Doug Bradley signed thing. So anyway, go ahead.
So one of the other things I picked up, came in the big haul from yesterday, is this vintage Oscar de la Renta. So this is this tag is from late 70s, early 80s. It's a vintage sweater set. So here's the sweater. It's got this weave. It's kind of like a beige. It has a few little gold threads running through it. It's like a beige, like chevron knit look.
Fancy.
But then it's got this little skirt that comes with it. It's just a sweater suit, you know, with the skirt suit. But I think I'm going to sell this for about $125 just because it's vintage Oscar de la Renta. So this is definitely, this all day long is like 80s fashion, not bold, bright, crazy 80s fashion, but still 80s fashion, and still relevant and something someone would wear today.
So Barry said, I think they found the perfect buyer for that Neverland shirt in you, Katie. I think that might mean that I'm never going to sell for more than $20.
I think that's him throwing a little shade, but I agree.
And then real quick, Rick wants to know, is it fairly rare to find good vintage tees at thrifts? I think, you know, it depends on where you are, but I would say for the most part, yeah, it's really hard now to find
here,
really
absolutely. Absolutely.
But at the same time, if you follow Derek Wagers, who's in the Boss Group, and he's the Vintage Fiend on Instagram, he's in Kentucky, and he is every day, pretty much all day, hitting all the thrifts around there, and he finds cool vintage stuff all the time.
Right.
All the time.
Every single time you walk into a thrift store here, you've got 15 bros in the t-shirt aisle.
Well, there's just nothing there. So
but there's still 15 bros, even if there's nothing there. So it's because it's such a thing now, and this is a major city, that, you know, people are hunting here. If you live somewhere where your thrifts do not have a lot of action, you're going to have good luck.
Yeah.
But right here, everything's really picked over. As far as that section, I still find a crap load of really good stuff in the women's section.
Yeah.
But that's a completely different genre that people are not looking for. So
yeah, not in the same way. It's not hyped. Anyway.
It's not hype. Yeah. So this sweater, this dress is one of the pieces that I really like. This is a vintage early 80s Hilo Hattie's tag. This is dead stock, but the only issue with it is it has the tag still on it, but it has a fade on the shoulder.
Oh, man.
I'm really bummed about it. I almost want to take a Sharpie and color it in, but I don't think that'd work. But it's a vintage Hilo Hattie's, just a pretty little cap sleeve with the, you know, a high collar with a split neck. It's just a long Hawaiian dress. It's very pretty. If it didn't have that fade, I think I could get over $100 for it, but as it is, it's probably like a $65, $75 dress. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
And then what else? I have one other really nice piece. I just picked my favorite pieces, some of my favorite pieces from this haul. This is another one. This is vintage 60s Carefree Fashions. It's not really a brand that you need to worry about, but this is a long, kind of a boho lace skirt. It's got a lace overlay, and it's got some eyelet lace in here. It's a maxi skirt, and it's considered like a boho skirt, and it has the lace top that goes with it. The top does still have the tags on it. It's got this just high neck sheer lace top that goes with it. So someone would wear probably a tank top under it, or even just full bra under it right now. Maybe even a bathing suit top under it. But it's got these really pretty gathered sleeves. This is I'm probably gonna list this for like $200 for this set. I don't know that I'll get $200 for it. I've got to figure out a way to make it look great on a mannequin, which means I'm gonna probably take the pictures and not pass this one off to Crystal. Sometimes I will take the pictures if I want to take extra time and care for a good photograph on something. Not to say that our pictures are not good, but in doing quantity, you sacrifice some of the quality trying to get stuff done. So on the nicer stuff, I will sell it.
Mm-hmm.
It is something Dana would wear because it is completely black, but it's not her size. So, and that's it. That's all I have for today.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's pretty much it for me too. Good enough. Good enough.
Good enough.
Yeah. I have some cool stuff coming. I've got that box tomorrow with a bunch of horror teas in it. I've got some other stuff coming this week. So next week's going to be interesting.
Tracy says, Frankie wants to know what I mean by bros. I mean all the people that are that sell on the virtual flea and do the kind of stuff that Katy does.
Well,
and I don't mean that, but a lot of them are the young kids looking to flip quick and fast. They may not know stuff, but they're learning. They're the up and comers, or they're trying to be up and comers. It's just they're in there really looking for the quick, fast hits on vintage stuff because they know just enough to be dangerous.
I mean, most of the guys though that are on like the virtual flea are not hitting thrift stores anymore, because I mean they're most of them, because it's like you kind of have to buy from other people if you want to keep higher price stuff coming into your store over and over and over again. I'd say it's more the younger kids who want to be those guys, and they're out there hitting the racks constantly. Or if you live in a place like Derek does and you can actually find cool stuff by hitting the racks, you do.
Tommy says, what do you think of taking a color marker to clothing to semi-hide flaws like bleach, fade, etc.? I guess I could do that if it were a fabric color marker specifically, and that might work on something like this. I don't think there's anything wrong with it if you disclose it. You know, you can't just take a Sharpie and do that, because obviously it's gonna, the second they wash it, it's gonna bleed, and you definitely don't want to do that. But sometimes you do.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up so we can go get some work done. You've got a little bit of a hurricane to handle downstairs.
So it's going to take me a couple days to get through this crap. Nobody better come visit.
Stay away, everybody. Stay away.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get me a snickety snack. I'm
thinking we just we haven't eaten today, so maybe we should just have early dinner right now. Get some dinner.
Get some, and then get back to work. Or whatever. Sounds good to me. All right, guys. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
With just her.
With just me. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Remember, we are not doing our Wednesday show, but please, I'll put a reminder up in the group, and follow me on Instagram. Come hang out with me for the virtual flea. I'll let you guys know what time it's going to be at, but I love having the support in the chat. It's just a fun time. Plus, it's just really cool to see what's going on. And if you want to know what the heck I'm talking about with the virtual flea, go follow 1980 something co on Instagram, because the virtual flea is happening right now. It goes now for at least a few more hours. But it is always fun to see what people are going crazy over and what stuff is selling for big time money. I don't remember, something sold. It was an Ace Ventura t-shirt today, sold for $1,500. So come on, if you want to see what people are hyped about, that's where you got to go. It's a real good way to learn. But otherwise, see how I do on Saturday, and then next Sunday we will be back, and you can see some of the stuff that we picked up this week, and see how I did on the flea, and see.
I know we had a lot of people that I don't necessarily recognize your name in the chat, so I do appreciate you. If we didn't get a chance to shout you out, obviously the chat moves while we're trying to do the show at the same time. So do know that you are recognized, and we appreciate everyone being in here and
absolutely
the conversation happening. You guys are always so funny.
I know we miss out on a lot of
we do this live for a reason, and specifically that reason is so we can interact with you guys in the chat, because otherwise it would be so boring, just Katy and I talking to nobody. So we love you guys
for sure. And Barry, just to close the show out, Barry says, go cop some heat, homies. All right, guys, see you later.
Bye.